Focusrite and Focusrite. Is that where? Yeah, that's working now. Got to start off with the tech issues. Especially after... Oh, wait. Hey, Google, turn on the desk light. There we go. That looks a bit better. Yeah, I don't know what went on there. Just did not detect my sound card. But yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the emote. I had like a dead 15 minutes in work. So I thought, you know what, let's just move the Charmander emote round. Hey, Google, set desk light to 50%. It's already down 50. Hey, Google, set desk light to 35%. That's like this harsh. Yeah. So just trace the Charmander, move the tail around, and now we've got the little lighter. But yeah, let's crack on with this. I made sure everything worked this time before stream, except for not starting live split. Let's move over to this one anyway and just get live split going. And I also need to remember where the hell we left off time-wise. So I need to go into my stream archive a minute. Render and day 24. Yeah, because we're on 25 now. How's everyone's, well, weekends, because I missed you on the weekend. How's everyone been? Oh yeah, I did play a song at the end of the last stream, didn't I? 10 seconds back. Okay. 9:01:31. So, I'm trying to remember. Oh, I was rendering a video. Yeah, kind of. It wasn't too bad. I was happy with getting that done. All I've got left to do is a thumbnail, and then I'm hoping to get the video up Friday, but pretty happy. Oh, nice. Have you already got an OLED switch? I looked at the time for live split and did not remember it. I got distracted by you. You just build out the Switch collection. I'm assuming you probably got all three then. Okay, how do I pause? And come on. Where am I going to stop? Because I've got 9:01. I'm needing you to remember this with me. Pause the counter. 9:01:31:82. 9:01:31:82. Okay, now let's wait half an hour for live split to. Yeah, it hits both. It's the best way. I've just got the two switches right now. My original and the OLED. Oh, and I'll have to, actually on my other one, I'll show you how random that shiny was the other day. I spotted his Dango thing as well, and I forget what they call it. The message thing? I don't know. Whatever the kids use. It's my excuse every time I don't know something. Yeah, the kids probably know. 9:01:32:86. Yeah, status. I think that's the word I was looking for. I swear I speak English as a first language. It's open. We've got the timer on screen. Start timer at 9:01 30.86. I've got my water. I might go for a coffee depending on how I'm feeling. Otherwise, I've just been for a run, so it was stressful. Run and then straight back in, make sure everything works on the stream, jump in the shower, get out. Which is why I'm feeling a bit fresh today. And yeah, I think we're good to go. And except I have no game audio. Is this because I just have no game audio apparently? Already on it. Okay, I need to fix my audio issues, goddammit. Oh wait, no. The game's got no audio. Everything, I swear. I need a new computer sooner rather than later. Come on, connect. No, there's still no audio for that. Let's go background music, just a test. Sorry for all the problems. And then let's go audio, auxiliary monitoring device is right. And there is game audio. Can you hear the game audio at all? Because I'm not getting any through my sound card. This is eating into challenge time. Can I hear? Yeah, I can hear a little bit of myself, which is fine. I'm just getting no game audio. So let's deactivate and activate. Advanced audio, as it just turned itself off. Monitor and output. Why is it like this? Because I could do with some audio. Set to really low. There's music I can see there. Can you hear anything other than like my voice? This is, oh, it's really frustrating. This is what I meant by my computer's on its last legs. Like, I'm having more and different issues per stream. Because I have no audio at all. I should still be on the same combo. As long as audio is going through the stream, I don't actually mind, and I can just kind of grab a headphone from downstairs or something. And have my own music in, like, the other ear. Because even if they're my main speakers on, I'm getting nothing. And welcome to anyone watching the VOD and being like, he's not very good at this. Output device. That. Everything is technically set up right. And I might just have to deal with it. And the timer stopped. Wait. Why won't it let me go? It doesn't matter, we killed a load of time anyway. Doing settings. It's not like I lost anything. I might try actually unplugging it and replugging it. Oh. I mean, there's some desktop sounds. I'm still getting nothing game-wise. Yeah. I just super distracted by fixing that, but I'm leaving it broken. When I finish my water, I'll go down and grab a headphone so I don't go insane in silence. But this week hasn't been so bad to start. I was almost late for work because I was in a different office. I'm usually in a different office on Mondays. But I got up like I was in my main office through the week, which is like 10 minutes drive away. Nope. I was in the office that was like 35, 40 minutes away. And I was like, oh, well, I'm going to get there for a normal time instead of getting there like 8:30 and leave early. Like half an hour early. So this close to being late. Yeah, not too bad. Can't complain about the week so far. Now I've got a shorter week as well. Like I said last time, I think it was probably last Wednesday. I've got Friday off to go camping and pack stuff up, so I've got a shorter week. Nice 4-day week with a bank holiday on Monday as well. Accidentally booked, so I've got a 4-day weekend. And I don't have to rush back Sunday. So nice relaxed one. And I'm realising I'm going to be either travelling or setting up when the video goes live, because I'm going to set it for about 6ish on Friday. That's when YouTube tells me audience is active. And hopefully before then I'm going to try and get some of these shorts done for the Shiny Dex backlog that I've got. Actually get the Bulbasaur one of that was done so long ago. Which, the reason it took so long yesterday... Oh, I think before I get on to why it took so long yesterday, I'm going to very quickly pause the timer and show you the random shiny that I found yesterday. Because I did record it for how... I literally ran into it by accident and only realised last minute that it was shiny. And yes, I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, it's been playing too much Pokemon and it's just consumed my life. So I was like, let's finally play Tears of the Kingdom and try and get through it. But for... What have I been... That looks like a random screenshot. Yeah, for sure, that's a random screenshot. Let's just delete that. What have I been recording? I remember what this was. I jumped to the shiny in a sec. But I just love doing this every time, sending them flying. Any chance it gives me this. If that's a solution, I love it. But anyway, this is a shiny. So just walking around, because they've got the Blissey event on at the minute. So just getting like XP candies and Terra shards while I was waiting for stuff to render and load and whatever. So just running towards the den. Flying around as you do, and then I randomly ran into it, but then also last minute noticed it was pink. And I had to swivel round. You can see it ends right there when we're like, record this. And I've got to swap this back now. But yeah, you can see I swiveled it round to check what form it was, because the one I got during the Living Dex video was the... I forget, the low-key form, I think it is. And that one was the amped form, so... I had both technically from 2 different videos, if you want to count it that way. Let's run into this. I am going slightly insane with no audio. Silence is killing me. But yeah, the reason it took me that long, because I should have got, after messages, should have been rendering it within like 10 minutes. Computer was throwing a hissy fit, because my laptop decided to start rendering in random glitchy lines, which is annoying for like personal projects, even more annoying when I've got to use that laptop for work and it's rendering in glitches, so I've got to solve that for tomorrow. Because I realised it was doing it today and it wasn't just like a one-off thing with the footage. Because it rendered one video fine, and then the video without the glitches in, it was rendering in glitches. So it's something to do with the driver or something, or Premiere being weird. So I had to take it to my main PC, and my main PC was being an absolute so-and-so. Everyone's almost level 100, Jesus. I just need Jolteon to be one more level higher, and then I might start leveling my other shinies. Wait. I think I just noticed something above Diglett. I'm not sure if it was a shiny or if it was just the red glow, because it was sort of behind my camera. And yes, I did forget to restart the timer. Okay, catch 442. Oh, never mind. It was me walking up and just seeing the hiker in the background. Just anything moving particle wise or like yellow, my brain just wants to see the shiny now. Because I'm way over odds for 1 in 273. But it is the third stream, and it is coming to around 500-ish. And there's Jolteon being level 100. I think Rapidash is shiny as well. What are the shinies I forgot to get to level 100? Yeah, Rapidash. Open boxes. Got a random Raticate, which I'm not bothered about. I do have the Ninetales. I'll swap that for Jolteon. I should have others. The Dodrio as well. That's a rideable, so I can swap that for Rapidash. And other than that, random Bellsprout and tons of Digletts. Wait, have I marked one? Something's marked. Oh, Sax a Chansey. Yeah, let's let them get to level 100 while I'm looking for this Diglett. I think the Dodrio is level 71, so we'll see if, I forget if it's a he or a she, if it gets to level 100 before I find the shiny. How many Pokeballs have I got left as well? It's a good question. Because I might have to do a Pokeball run. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Oh, just 4, 4, 4. And Pokeballs left. Computer says 33. I will have to do a run in a minute. Although I'm going to try and run it down as low as possible. I'm just trying to make as many races as I can. What'll run down first? Pokeballs. Well, wait, the Dodrio, male or female? They're both male. The Ninetales and the Dodrio are both male. Will the Dodrio get to level 100? Will I run out of Pokeballs? Or will the shiny appear? Find out tonight on Dateline. I can tell I've just been for a run. I'm just sitting here and I'm not just going, I'm really hot. I need to drink. I'm still like cooling down. That's what I get for trying to be healthy. And the fact that I probably could have downed that glass in one gulp. I'm just trying to think, what have I got on for this week? Oh, that was an idea. I remember saying like I wanted to do like a sort of director's commentary type thing for the videos. I was thinking it might be a nice thing, one, because I'm going to be away for Friday, even if I did the video for Saturday. But for when the video goes out, I'm going to be away pretty much, because it's going out for 6, and I'm going to be leaving here about 12-ish on Friday to head to the campsite. So I'm going to be away for when it releases. But as kind of a celebration type thing, I was thinking on Wednesday, maybe doing a director's commentary thing for the Live Index video. If I can actually get the freaking audio working, unlike today. Just sit there and be like, this is technically in the wrong order. This is where I reused footage. I didn't mention this, blah 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 blah. Especially if I'm thinking it'd probably be better to do it sooner rather than later. While I can still sort of, yeah, great English, Amy. But I can sort of still remember a fair chunk of like the production bits for the video. And then maybe after I get back, like on the Sunday, yeah, give you a chance to watch on your own and whatever. Do a similar thing. Depending on if I got the effort on Sunday. Do a similar thing for the alchemy video, which will be a lot shorter. It's only about like 16 minutes. It's nowhere near an hour. It's really going to depend how much effort I've got left in me after camping and walking and plan to take a few pictures. To be fair, I'm going to take my DSLR with me and hopefully get some nice pictures while I'm out in the forest, and apparently there's lakes and trails and everything. Excuse me. Should be nice. Just hopefully the weather holds out. Because it's been a bit iffy. It was nice last weekend. Hopefully it is this weekend. But we'll see. Even if it's terrible, I can make the most of it. As I always do. Considering I've been camping in like torrential rain and snow and ice. Oh, hello Zubat. And freaking sweltering heat. There really is just no good time to go camping. There's always going to be something bad about it. And hopefully I don't have a drought like this for while I'm away. Because I am planning on doing like a get a shiny video. And then, what was the concept again? I'm trying to remember. I've got it written down as like a succinct way. But like, I think it's essentially I can't leave until I find a shiny sort of thing. And I'm prepped for that now. I've got... Oh, that's a terrible throw. 1 second. I've got a power bank that should do a decent chunk of battery. It's like the actual Switch power bank that Anchor did. I'm going to borrow my brother-in-law's one that he's got. And I've also got... It's actually to the side of me here. A big, chunky bugger. Let's just keep hunting while I talk to this. So, this thing is 30,000. Oh. Ads are about to start. I don't think it makes much of a difference. Hey, cheers for the follow, Ben. Yeah, this thing is like 30,000 milliamp hours. Not too bad. Just trying to get a shiny, shiny Ditto. Ditto? Diglett. That's been 3 days in the making, and its little blue nose won't appear. Just talking to camping trip / video that I'm gonna go on Friday. Camping trip / shoot, I guess. But yeah, this thing 30,000 milliamp hours, but I won't have to worry as much about battery because it's got the solar panel on top. So hopefully I can make my Switch battery last at least a solid day with 3 backup batteries, which if I don't get a shiny in that time would be ridiculous. But then again, I am coming up on... What did we end the Bronzor hunt on? Was it about 2 hours? So I think we're running up like 7 hours now. Because I think it was like 4:05. Or not 4:05, 2:05 something. Or was that 2 streams for the Poke Radar? It was 2 streams, it was 4:05. Resist the urge to make a stupid joke and be like, oh, I'm from the UK, obviously. I'm from Liverpool. You from the UK yourself, or are you doing the thing that quite a few people have done to me now? And just they guess straight away, but they don't want to be like, you're Scouse, aren't you? Because since I've done, oh, it's not shiny. Since I've put like videos out and done streams, apparently I have a stronger accent than I thought I did, considering I spent pretty much my whole life trying to get away from it. And I like to think it's quite soft, although I did catch myself. I'm streaming like twice a week because I do have like a full-time job. So, I mean, on Monday, bit of an oddity, but I stream Wednesdays and Sundays. Because Wednesdays are nice midweek and Sundays are just a nice... Everyone does stuff on Saturdays and I wanted to do a weekend day. So Sunday is a nice chill vibe before everyone goes to work. So, yeah, chill vibe. Usually there's some chill music in the background, but for some reason sound's acting up today. So hopefully, because I can't hear it, I don't know why I've even got headphones in. Hopefully there's music in the background and you can hear the game. I can see it in OBS, so hopefully it's fine. As long as it ends up in the VOD, I can use it for video bits later. Oh, come on, that should have been an excellent. I'm never going to say no to traffic. A good bit of attention's great for growth. As long as it's not bots, I'm happy. Just curious what strings you're thinking you can pull though. People don't normally just offer traffic. Unless it's those random like, oh my god, I've been getting more. You know, I've been accused of being an AI more than once by Ray and Buddy. It's not out the blue for people to stop being called robots. But yeah, the amount since I've had like my YouTube video do pretty well and the channel grow a bit, the amount of emails I've had being like, you should subscribe to us and we'll get you views and followers and subscriptions. And apparently, oh, ads starting soon. And the amount of those I've had to delete recently is kind of ridiculous. Because I've had them before, even like when I didn't have any growth. Like with Instagram. Graphics on the channel. I'm sure I've got some stuff. Other than that, I like the stream to be pretty clean. What kind of graphics do you mean? Like, do you mean overlay type stuff or stuff literally like on the channel page below? Hey, how's it going, Majora? That is a point I should do. Where's the prediction button? I've changed my stream manager layout. Where is it? Sub only. Predictions. There we go. And let's... Oh, is the try not to press enter or full stop. Full stop is the better of the two. Name and prediction. Find a shiny. Welcome to Keyboard ASMR. Find a shiny this stream. How's it been going for you, Major, by the way? I haven't seen you for a little bit. Counter still going. Yes. No. Submission. Let's go 2 minutes. Not too bad, not too bad. And I was about to put my headphone back in. I can't hear a thing. I'm going to be harping on this because I'm really happy to finally get it done. Because it's been a lot of work and I'm making it sound worse than it was. It just took a while considering how things were. But I finally got the alchemy forms video done. Oh, nice. I mean, I'm a graphic designer myself for a living, so I kind of prefer to do all that stuff myself, but yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can get it from, like, my side, because I do the same thing. I feel like I should make everything myself, like, and it's still a hobby at this point. I was going to say, like, oh, it makes no money. It's like, I'm yet to be paid out. I read that quite literally. That threw me off. I've been pretty bossy lately. Yeah, I can see why you haven't been on then. Wait, about to start again. Is school not just ended, or am I getting things wrong? Have I been out of school too long to realise this? Because I was sure everyone just finished for, like, summer. Unless you're not in the UK and you're somewhere different. Oh, and that is a point. I do need to get... I think I said this while my mic was muted at the start. But I need to get around to doing the dash bun emote because I had an idea for it today. So it wasn't just a dash bun. So pretty much. Oh, right, so you're just getting ready for next school year. Yeah, I had an idea for the dash bun emote, so it wasn't just a dash bun on its own. Because I like the change that Ray suggested for the Charmander one, where it looks like it's holding up a little lighter. And then the Kecleon one is obviously animated, and it's a rainbow and whatever. So I was thinking, the dash bun, I could just do a straight up dash bun face, but I was like, we always joke about the costume. I need to make it like a dash bun costume. So I was going to do it like with the mouth open, but that just seemed too awkward and didn't read well. Oh, right, you're in Sweden. I don't know why, for some reason I thought you were in the UK. But I think that's just because a lot of people in the chat. Oh, June, I read that as July, but yeah, it really could have been either. Yeah, most people jumping in from the UK, so I just kind of assumed, but that's on me. Shouldn't assume things. I do want to go back to Sweden at some point, because I feel like I didn't get the proper experience while I was there. Because last time I was there, I was on like an international camp with my scouting group. I say when my scouting group is part of like the UK Scouts. We went for like a jamboree, and I stayed with the actual campsite was in Sweden. I actually stayed, and I think it was Copenhagen, with a family over there for like a week, which was interesting. I would have loved to do that now because I was such a little shy kid who barely didn't make the most of it. They were like, "Oh, what do you want to eat?" And I was like, "Just anything." It's like I should have just been like, "Give me all your delicacies, I'll eat anything." But I was also a really fussy kid when I was younger, so I was nowhere near gonna be saying that. I mean, I was that bad that they had like stuffed chicken Kievs, and I took the stuffing out of the Kiev. Because I was like, no, I don't want it. I think because it was like a garlic and something. Honestly, I don't think it's a particularly Swedish thing, but just the fact that bikes are so much more common over there than cars, and that bit of the culture. Because I didn't get to see a lot of it. It was mainly I was just staying on a campsite and getting used to the Swedish krona and being like, I'm rich, and then being like, why is a can of Coke like 150 krona? And be like, oh yeah, there's no like pence or like decimal system, so 150 krona would be like £1.50, which was still a fair bit, but they kind of had us by the balls. Considering we were stuck on the campsite. But I want to go over and, like I say, do it properly. Like, do it as an adult. Experience a bit of the culture. Because on that camping trip, it was literally people from all over the world there. So I was seeing bits of like Pakistani culture and Japanese culture, Danish and Swedish, obviously, because around the area, American. Like, it was just a big old melting pot. Really interesting. Love to do that again. Yeah, but it's where I want to go back to, but it's not bucket list because I technically have been. Might actually be somewhere because I've still got holidays to use this year. It might be a nice little winter trip, I think. How is it over there in the winter? Is it deathly or is it alright? Is it what you'd imagine a UK would be? Because I could deal with that. Because I can't take holiday like right up to Christmas. Because we've got a fair bit of work. But before Christmas I've got some time off to take. Yeah, it's hit the world at the minute. I don't even want to know how much, like, if I was to convert the same amount of money, how much I'd get now. Although I act like I'd know anyway. Let's be completely honest. I think I was actually about... Oh my god, this is years ago. I must have been about 13, 14 when I went over. Let's buy some Pokeballs. Which is scary to think that that was over a decade ago. It's in 13, 14, I'm 26 now. Almost 27. Let's sell all of these candies. That's what I mean, like I was a full-on kid when I went over. Although that's also me being the type of person to look at anyone under the age of 21 and being like, okay, you might be technically an adult, but there is a certain bit of like, after the age of 21, the world hits you. Like, I even want to go and do I want to go and do Amsterdam again. Mainly because the people I went over with wanted to do the bit you expect of Amsterdam. Which, as much as it was like, okay, I'm with you, I'll do a little bit, but it's really just not for me. I would have preferred to actually walk around the city bit, actually see sights, take some nice pictures. Because that is my type of trip. It's just go explore, take some nice pictures, come back, show everyone, and then add them to the roll of... And everyone always likes coming in when I got the TV on because I leave it rolling with like my photography that I've taken over the years, and sometimes it's trips I've been on with the people who are with me. So say if my brother or my mum and dad are around or whoever, maybe it's weddings, maybe it's film shoots, people kind of see the trips I've been on with them, because I just have my what I call my photography roll, which is just anything I've taken on my camera. And I haven't added to that and noticed since about 2019. So hopefully this weekend I get some nice pictures while I'm out camping. Because it's just going to be me. And outside of doing some stupid shiny hunts while I'm out there for video stuff, I want to indulge that again because I haven't done it in so long. What's it? I'm trying to remember the time difference because... Is it like 4 hours or something? I'm terrible with geography. Because I do stream at a terrible time for kind of everyone but the UK. Because 8:30's kind of a nice time for the UK, but you go earlier. And I guess maybe America and that, they're just finishing work. But if you go ahead, you're going into like the next day and closer to 12 o'clock. Like even for my family in Cyprus, it's 2 hours ahead. It's about 10 o'clock. They're probably doing other stuff at that point. Which is why it'd be nice to stream around 6-ish, but that's only feasible. Is it only +1? That's interesting. That's interesting. I'll check if it's CET. CET. Oh.
But yeah, thank you all for hanging out during the stream.
That was a stream I was watching earlier. Just ending. Like perfect time to turn it on. CET. Time zone. I'll tell you now. You written as UT? Yeah, it is only an hour. Like, should consistently be an hour difference because I think you have central, not central, daylight savings time. That's surprising. That just shows how bad I am at geography. Oh, to be fair, I'm just bad at directions in general. I'm now trying to pay more attention to Google Maps while I'm driving. And when it tells me to turn onto a road, like, on it, because usually I'll just see, like, turn left and look for when I should turn, which is how you should use a sat-nav. But I'm trying to remember road names because people will be, like, there's one, like, famously just outside of Liverpool called Switch Island because it's just a load of roads everywhere to switch to go to different places. Switch Island. Makes sense now. I didn't put 2 and 2 together for literal years. Yeah, it'll be about right. 9:15 for me. Which the minutes won't make a difference. But solid effort to actually get used to where I live of all places, and then I might get better with the rest of the UK, and then maybe the world, maybe the world at some point. But the world's a bit of a stretch. Like, even when I get asked in work, like, oh, so you know, like, this place, like, around now's the worst time because people are going on holiday and like, oh, I'm going here. I'm like, I think I roughly know, and people can, I think I show the confusion on my face. And people can see it so blatantly, like, you have no clue where that is. Like, unless I've heard of it before. And I know roughly what part of the world it's in. Like, I can take a guess and go, it's probably Asian, Middle Eastern, something like that. I am useless. I can't point to it on a map. For the longest, like, I can find Cyprus on a map because I've been there that many times. But if someone was to tell me, like, point to Greece on a map, I only roughly know where it is. And even then, it's only been in the last few months. I can roughly know what side of Cyprus it is. Because I always assumed it was over to the right. Nope. Closer to central / the left. Like, northwest of Cyprus. Northwest-ish. And even then, I can't confidently say that. That's just me trying to take an educated guess based off experience. The other thing I will say is playing Scarlet and Violet, my north, south, east and west has gotten way better. Because I can look at a map and if I'm going like up to the right, I'll know I'm going like northeast. And I don't have to do the little like never eat shredded wheat sort of thing. It is generally like, I don't know how people remember a map. Like, they've definitely got like some landmarks and they'll know nearby, and I feel like I'll have to do that, like learn big landmarks like Germany and be like, Germany's roughly here, and then it's learning like the big notable places. Oh, I think that's because it's a new one. The others seem to work, just not on stream, but I can see it in the chat. Yeah, I noticed that one. Because I feel like they go to the chat fine, but on the back end they still have to approve them. Because my recent emotes have been going through a lot quicker. Like, they're not going to do like the pending approval phase. But probably still technically going through pending approval for the back end like API and plugins, which is what the stream overlay is using. But at least you can use them in the chat, it's fine. And if you've got any ideas for emotes, I still have slots available. That's the point while I'm walking around. I think I've got like 2 or 3 emote slots available still. None of the animated ones. I've still got tier 2 and tier 3. I can't remember how many of them. One of them's going to be taken with the little Dashbun costume thing idea. That depending on what I get to tonight. Like I said, I've only got to get the alchemy videos thumbnail done. I've got the SEO done, title, descriptions, everything. All the tags. Just a thumbnail left, and then it's good to go. And I can set that to be a premiere and see if that makes any difference to the video. Then I've just got to render these stream VODs to get them up on time. And hopefully, maybe tomorrow, I might try and get some emotes done. So if you've got any ideas. Okay, I like where this is going. Because a pan, okay. This is how Ray started his. What? Somehow, I might have thought of that one already. I'm trying to figure out how to do different ones with pans, because I like the pan heart, but I can't quite make the pan eye work. Maybe just an eye in it, but then actually... Okay, I've had a dumb idea. It might... I'm not sure how it'll work as a tiny emote. But like, still the same kind of like frying pan aesthetic as the heart, but just round, like a normal frying pan. With the handle facing down, so it already kind of makes an eye shape. Like the letter I. Like the top in a circle. And then maybe an egg and a piece of bacon to make the eye. Because I've had the... Ray brought up the fry-up idea as like a joke, but I was like, that's kind of stupid enough that I love it. So it'd be kind of 2 forms of an eye. I kind of like it. It's stupid and I like it. And as much as I'm not a fan of the idea of, oh, there are no dumb ideas. There are dumb ideas, but some dumb ideas are funny. That is my thesis on life. Things can be dumb, but if they're funny enough, it's fine. Yeah, precisely. As long as it's not... Well, to be fair, also if the thinker is actually thinking. Because I've had dumb ideas repeated back to me. After physically saying to someone like, this is dumb, so this is why we're not going to do this as like a... Just thinking out loud, we're going to cross things off a list. Don't say anything like this because this is why it won't work. And then I've had it repeated back to me. It's like, okay, but... And then they said the dumb thing back to me. That's a dumb thought. Anything that is just not thought out. Which, how would you... It doesn't work nice into a proverb sort of thing. Which I think is why it doesn't catch on. And what notifications are going off on my phone? Hey, got that one. Oh, Discord's going off. Work chat's going off. Ooh. Stuff added to Foo Fighters set lists. Very nice, very nice. For shows that I'm not going to because they were added to the New Zealand set list. It's just something to look forward to for me next year. Foo Fighters concert. Can't wait. I've got a good couple of concerts. I've still got to print off tickets and I keep forgetting every time. Because I don't know if you can... I mean, you can't see, but on top of my shelf I've got a frame of all my tickets from concerts I've been to since literally I was a kid. Yeah, streaming regularly, and I'm at least getting like 2 in a week. If I don't do one day, I usually try and stream the day after. But yeah, semi-regularly. And if you want to know the days, like if I miss, say, a Sunday, I usually drop it in the Discord chat and be like, can't today because this, but I'll be doing it this day instead. Like yesterday, I was rendering a video, so my computer was just out of commission for the night. And I said, I'm just going to jump on today instead. Yeah, if you want to, just drop in there. You can also just chat with everyone in there if you want. Drop one. I just like being able to collect all the shinies in one place. Like Bud just dropped in randomly, didn't get one, but he was like, started hunting again. I was like, yes, this is what I like. And I think Ray got some shinies on Pokemon Go. I randomly found a shiny yesterday while I was waiting to render a video or for something to load on it. Yeah, it's chill. And you get notifications for when I go live consistently and also with YouTube stuff. Yeah, it's cool. When I say YouTube stuff, I mean like when the VODs go live, when I post YouTube shorts or like main channel videos. Which I think you can probably block them if you didn't want them, because I understand maybe you don't want them all the time. They probably can get annoying if you just want to sit there and chat with people from the stream. That's hopefully like kind of what I want it to be, is just basically a nice chat room for people to chill in. Maybe if you're playing something, or I think Bud hasn't done it in that chat because Bud's had me on Discord anyway. But he just like needed me to trade something for like getting the decks finished or whatever. So hopefully it'll be a good resource when the Scarlet and Violet DLC release to help you finish the decks. Yeah, and if you need any help with it, just drop something in there, because obviously I've finished the decks. You've got like Bud and Ray in there who can probably try and help. I'm not sure if Ray's got Scarlet and Violet or not. I know he's been playing a lot more of Pokemon Go recently. Or just Pokemon Go in general, maybe not recently. Yeah, can do. I'm not sure if there's going to be multiplayer mechanics in the new one, like the raids and that. Well, there'll be raids. So if you need raid help and someone's awake, we've got a nice mix of time zones. Are we going to have a race for the shiny decks? Because I've got mine going at the minute. And I think I'm up to like... Yeah, sadly you can't do the whole 1000 day because some are just shiny locked and you can't get them unless they're events. But for everyone that I can get, I'm going for it. But yeah, I think I'm over half a boxer. Let's load up my Pokemon Home and they'll probably tell me. And maybe slightly more. Hopefully if this shiny Diglett... Jesus Christ, that's one. If this shiny Diglett shows up, maybe I might get more today. Currently up to an hour. Yeah, I think it probably is. I want to say there's not too many that you can miss, but it might be just under 1,000. But yeah, you just say the 1,008 because everyone knows that's all of them. Even though I had the moment that I knew someone would fall for, which was a Let's Go box order, so I can see. I knew someone would fall for in the Living Decks video, where they were like, "Oh, you forgot Walk and Wake and Iron Leaves and Roman Form Gimme Ghoul." So I got to drop the watch till the end of the video thing. I was like, oh, it was just so satisfying. Because I set it up and put it right at the end, knowing someone would say it. Because I got it after I was finished recording the video, but they released them between me finishing recording the video and releasing the video. Yeah, and the editing process basically. How many have I got? towards it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 towards my shiny decks. So I'm getting close to a box of shinies. And I'm trying to do them origin-wise, so everyone from Kanto is caught in Kanto. The ones from Johto are caught in Johto, etc. Yeah, and that's what we like to see. People sticking through an overly long hour, 10-minute video. Which thankfully the next one is only 16 minutes-ish. Bit of an easier watch. Might have a better retention time, but we'll see. My retention time on it's slowly going up and up. Like, it's getting a little bit of a bump. It's up to 12 minutes 31 on average. Which, to be fair, I'll still take it. Like, it's over 10 minutes. But that's also people, like, going and coming back. Like, it's really interesting seeing the back end of YouTube. Yeah, like, I've been watching a load more, like, VODs. A load of, like, good ones to watch I've found recently, like, Doug VODs. Just because he has interesting ideas. And I like seeing him, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff. So many Diglets in this area. So, like, when he's just workshopping ideas and, like, tweaking little bits while he's on stream or... Oh, excuse me. Yeah, tweaking little bits on stream, doing bits of coding, and it just gets my creative juices flowing. Starts giving me different ideas, which I've got one that I was going to mess with today if the sound wasn't being dodgy with me. Which my glass is empty and I should probably go get a glass of water. Probably, actually, it'd be perfect timing because there's an ad about to go. So... the ad's going to run. I'm going to grab myself a glass of water and grab myself a headphone at the same time. And leave it on this screen for a second. So I'll be back in a sec. There is a link down below. There is also... I needed to make... Thank God I didn't do enter. I think that should work. Yeah, there you go. Link in chat as well. Alright, be back in a sec. I always forget every time that I do it without my camera. Oh. Mouse lagged a second there. Here we go. And I didn't grab my headphone, so that's on me. Alright, 5:01. We're past 500. I've got my glass of water. There's an ad going, so... I don't think there's anyone who's not subscribed on the stream, so it's all good. That ad-free viewing. I've just left it as default because just to see if people come in. I think if I leave the ads on, it gets rid of pre-rolls, which I'd rather people coming in not have to see pre-roll ads. It's because I know that's immediately like a wall of like, I have to sit here to maybe see someone that I may or may not like. After doing nothing for 30 seconds, people will just click straight off. So hopefully the nice middle ground is run ads through the stream so pre-rolls aren't on. Because I don't think I can turn ads off altogether, or at least I haven't worked it out. It's been a fun thing trying to figure out like Twitch affiliate stuff. Oh, and I just realised, I was thinking, like on Twitch affiliate stuff, it reminded me of like the emotes that I've made. I can put them into the Discord server, can't I? I need to do that. Because it'd just be fun for everyone to use them on Discord. Because I think you can use them throughout Discord once a run, can't you? Again, this is all stuff that I'm figuring out on the fly. Because I do feel like a granddad on the internet a lot of the time. Like, I'm really good with tech and I can figure out a lot of things. Like, give me 5-10 minutes of the software, I can probably use it at the basics. Just by messing with it. The link didn't work. Let's open it for me. It's expired, that's dumb. Okay, I'll have to update that. Let's tell you what, I can do it from my phone. I wonder how I get a perpetual link for Discord. I'll figure that out in a bit. For now, let's try and walk and talk and drive at the same time. So if we go in here and then invite, copy link, and then go into Twitch. That's not my stream. 506 and do you know the rules of your own chat? Yes. Does that one work? It looks different. Yeah, I'll have to try and get the emotes that I've made into the Discord chat. Partially so I can use them in other servers as well. Because that's one thing. And I mean, might come off slightly narcissistic, but I like the stuff I make and I'm just kind of happy that I can use the stuff I've made on Twitch. I feel like I've got a power that other people don't, sort of thing. Like, I can make my own emotes and use them on any channel, so I've just been enjoying using them on like other chats where appropriate, with all like their emotes as well, like the follow emotes, because I don't actually subscribe to anyone. At least don't pay for a subscription. I get gifted subscriptions every now and again. Like I think the last one I was gifted because I like watching shiny hunting streams in the background. They're great white noise for me, so hopefully this is good white noise stream, except without the music. You're just kind of stuck with the in-game music for the time being, which is actually maybe better considering I've been uploading the VODs and apparently the lo-fi channel has some copyrighted stuff that gets flagged in the VODs. Thankfully they're not monetized and I'm not probably ever going to monetize them really, so it doesn't affect them, doesn't affect like viewership or anything. But I've swapped the background to a copyright-free one just so it doesn't. Yeah, it is a weird superpower. And to be fair, the affiliate stuff, like conditions, are quite low. The longest thing was actually the followers. But because, as most people will tell you, it's easy to grow on Twitch if you start on a different platform and come to Twitch. Because, I mean, although I did start on Twitch, because the YouTube started growing a little bit. Hey, made up. Oh, and the Charmander's working. Yay. Yeah, because people started coming over to Twitch and just kind of clicking the follow button because it was linked in the description, and I showed that I streamed bits of it through the video. I just kind of came in one day and I think I started at something, I think it was at single digits. I want to say I had like maybe 8 or like somewhere between like 8 and 10 followers. I just checked in one day, I was like, oh, that's 20 odd followers, and then came back a few months later, like starting to do it a bit more regularly and just hit 50. And people will start following off stream as well. Like, I just popped in the other day, and who was it? Yeah, I can see it on my dashboard. Womble Shambles 4 days ago when I wasn't live. It is weird. Yeah, I'm gonna try and sort that. I don't know why it's doing like a 7-day thing. I just need to Google like perpetual invite. Am I gonna 512? What were the guesses on the prediction? Were people hopeful or were people realistic? There were no votes on it. Never mind. People weren't sure, just like I'm not sure. Oh, down in one go. I always forget that I have the Fallout profile picture because it's custom to me, but it's custom to old me when I had like a fringe and everything, and I really need to update it if anything. I'll either update the Fallout one or just do it to my channel little logo thing, the little J and the P, because if you didn't know, Paneye is just my last name spelt phonetically. My first name's Jordan, so my logo is a little J on top and a J on the bottom that rounds it to make a P. Which is actually a little tattoo that I want to get somewhere. I just keep randomly drawing on myself to see where I want it. But the theory behind how I want my tattoos is I want like half my body like clean this side and tattoos on this side, so I've got this, and then yeah, it's a nice little thing that I've had for years, and it's went through slight small little changes to be eventually what it is now, which I'm happy with. But yeah, I want to get it somewhere on like the left side of my body with this one, and I've got one down my side. The only thing is I want it kind of like on its own and like kind of quite clean. And I want to fill this arm out as like a sleeve, so this arm is pretty much gone, unless I leave like a little gap around there, or like get it on my hand somewhere. But I don't want it there. If anything, I would maybe get it on the side, but if I was to get that, I'd probably get the sleeve first just to see how it fit. Which I've been watching a lot of tattoo videos recently, and after you've been watching them a fair bit, it's so hard to resist the urge to just message an artist and just start workshopping ideas, because I know roughly what I want to get, and the more I watch, I'm having more and more little like, oh, I want this from here and this from here, and for a sleeve that's great to just get a load of ideas, because I know a general theme that I want for my sleeve is like creative, because I've already started it with like, so it's a roll of film with a cut in it, because I'm a video editor that by formal training, I guess is how you'd explain it. And then I've also got a treble clef because musical, whether it's me or it's my family, whether instruments or singing, whatever. I always think about this kind of stuff just because I am graphically minded. I've thought of maybe a I love my long sleeve t-shirts. So maybe a long sleeve t-shirt I might come up with. Obviously, it wouldn't be any time soon selling it, but maybe just one for myself. And then if, say, streaming or YouTube takes off anymore and more people wanted it, where I could justify paying for a few and then, I don't know, paying the shipping on it and actually still making some form of profit. But yeah, I definitely workshop ideas, even if it's just for me, doing like one-off prints. Because it'd be something simple. It'd be like maybe, because my colour scheme is very like monochrome, probably like a black tee with a simple little JP logo on the chest. Maybe like a blacked out one so it's subtle. And it's similar to how I said about my tattoos, maybe just down the left arm. Like some similar thing where it comes up halfway with a long line and the J logo, and then down from the shoulder, the hook. And it meets in the middle to make the logo up. I've definitely thought of this before. And it'd have to be a clean and simple design because I'm not one for very like intricate artsy stuff. And oh my god, this has gone over 10 hours for looking for these redemption shinies. But yeah, I guess tattoos and shirt designs almost like tying a little bit together. Because I feel like that'd be a nice way to tie it back into me personally, rather than just like, I can do graphic designs for different stuff all day long and it'd make like no difference. Ooh. I'm just trying to think what Unknown P looks like. Because that could be an interesting one. Specific, because obviously eventually I want to like branch out from Pokemon stuff. But for now I've got tons to do Pokemon wise, so I don't mind. But maybe like having different branding for different games would be interesting. And mixing the J Unknown and the P Unknown could be an idea. I'm actually going to have a look what the P Unknown looks like. Because I know what the J one is. It's a little flick at the bottom with the line off the side. P Unknown. Oh, I just have to move the J thing round. Oh. It could be an interesting like one-off Pokemon design for me. And like on a shirt. Ooh. If like focus on texture wise. On the shirt, if the black is kind of more like a shiny vinyl. But then the white would really stand out. So it'd only, from far away, look like a circle with a dot in the middle. But then as you got closer, you'd see it would be like the Unknown, because it'd be like it'd be a very matte thing, kind of like that kind of reflectiveness, but then the glossy Unknown on top. I might actually make that'd be a cool emote, to be fair. You did? Okay, I've got the idea for the emote. But also, it'd be quite a nice just shirt design as well. Simplified logo. Because as much as companies have they simplify the logos too much, I do like that neat aesthetic when it's done just right. Like there's a fine balance for it to look nice. And now I'm just having to think, don't just jump off stream and make the emote. Because my computer will die if I launch Photoshop now. But I really want to just stop and do the emote. Because it'll take 2 seconds as well. That's how simple the idea is, but it'll work. I'm just going to double check that the J Unknown is what I'm thinking. J Unknown. There's one of it backwards. But yeah. This is why I say there's no dumb ideas creatively. If you're trying to work things out logistically, there can very much be dumb ideas. But if you're being creative, even if it is a dumb idea that just doesn't work, sometimes it can be fuel for another idea. which is how my brain works anyway. Because sometimes someone can say one thing and I'll kind of run with it. So like we were workshopping like a campaign in work like last week, and it was literally just down in my schedule, like brainstorming session, but I had other work to do. But I couldn't help myself once they started once they were through the logistics and working out like time scales and paths for people to go around, because it was all about like careers. If I dropped frames, no, I've dropped no frames. Okay, it might be your Wi-Fi, and it's not my deliberate glitch effects. Although they would just mess with you and just randomly start glitching about. Oh no, I'm not here. Oh no, it's glitched back. Just start doing dumb stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, back to what I was saying. Just they were brainstorming stuff, and I was just there to essentially. I was told if anything doesn't seem real or like isn't feasible, just speak up. But once he started talking creative bits, I couldn't help but chime in because they were saying stuff and my brain was running. Because it was like, this is how you're a rising star sort of thing. And I was like, oh, but then you can kind of like, you can start working in constellations, and the logo can be like a star, but the bottom of the star makes up the arrow, and just little touches like that. And then some of it can be dumb, but then it's kind of throw everything out, even if it sounds stupid, and just see what sticks. It's the best way to work creatively. Like, I don't know what you want to do going like past school, but if I can recommend anything creatively, it is just throw everything at a wall. Throw all the pasta at the wall, uncooked or not, and just see what sticks. Don't know where that random that test came from. It's like, oh, you know your pasta's cooked when it sticks to the wall. Learned that so long ago, and thought, who does that? Because I just do like the whole bite test, but some random, in my head, Italian grandma was just like, oh, is the pasta done? And just got the scoop from the pan and just launched it at the wall. And you can just see, like, I'm imagining a wall of just plastered dried spaghetti. Because that isn't a test that you can just put it back in the pan either. No one's going, oh, you know what I want tonight? Wall spaghetti. Wall spaghetti bolognese. The distance you're watching from, like your garden or something. Like in the great outdoors. Are you touching grass? We can't be having any of this touching grass in stream. It's not what we do here. The closest you get to grass is carpet. Touch a nice soft carpet and you're good. I just caught the second half of your message here because I don't think it all showed up on the stream. Just reading back through because I was like, I don't recognise that bit. I also won't recognise this blue nose friggin' Diglett if it ever shows up. It's 10 hours. Even if you take off the 4, that's 6 hours of looking for this thing now. 3 streams worth, because I usually stream about 2 hours-ish. 3 streams worth of hunting. Although I'm also not getting a ton of spawns in here. But obviously, I think this is the only place to get Diglett. I don't think there's any other place. Maybe... No, because a load of other stuff would spawn. If I'm thinking caves-wise. Maybe I'll look it up. Diglett. To Chansey. I have been seeing a ton of Chansey. Not too many Zubats. I'd expect to see more Zubats and Chansey. Although it is a rare spawn and I am over 11 on a catch combo. But it shouldn't take me that long to see a Diglett. No worries, see you in a sec. Is that showing up on my... Oh, I've got the chat off. There we go. I turned the chat off when I was glitching it round. Turning the camera off. Yeah, it was on stream for you, but not for me. Diglett, let's go. Cerebi Pokedex, where does it spawn? Just Diglett Cave and Lavender Town for the Alolan form. Which, ooh, if I don't release any, it might be worth... No, I also don't want to hunt this and break my chain. It might actually be getting rid of Chansey as well, just to get more spawns. If I don't get rid of any of the Diglett, I can hunt the Alolan form. Because I'll just have a ton. Like, if I've caught 400 odd, which I've caught over 400, it'll tell me how many I've caught now, because I've only caught like 2 for the decks. 600, 601. If I've got like 600 in the PC, then you'd think somewhere in the trading I might be able to get the Alolan form. Sorry, just interesting messages from workmates. Hey, made up for you. Got that consistent frame rate. It is always that safe method. The safe method. That's what I was looking for, not message. Of just turn it off and on. It works every time. The old IT crowd meme. What are the odds? Sorry, I'm thinking back to the Alolan Diglett thing again to try and get that as shiny. And I know I could reset for those, so I wouldn't have to constantly catch. What are the odds for that? Because I think they're not affected. They may be like 1 in 4096. Who's just gone live? Oh, Tempe. Yeah, they probably are 1 in 4096. I can't imagine them being affected by the shiny charm. But if they are, I think 1 in 143 or some stupid number like that. Because that's what odds every other Diglett. Like, so how the odds work for this is for the catch combo. If I catch one, the next Diglett is 1 in 273. But then the next one after that, like if I don't catch one, they're all like 1 in 1043. So it's why I'm best just trying to consistently catch as many Diglett as possible. They don't spawn here, but if I go to Lavender Town and do the trade with... I can't remember if it's a guy or a girl, what kind of trainer they are in the Lavender Town Pokemon Center. If I trade them a Cantonian Diglett, they'll give me an Alolan one. Which... Swedish autocorrect. I've never thought of like different languages having different autocorrects. It makes sense, but it's just never something that's popped into my head. Because like obviously, if you've got a different keyboard setup and a different, you're swapping between different languages, especially when they're both Germanic. Because if I swap my keyboard between like Greek and English, they're obviously two different sets of alphabets. But if you're using the same Germanic alphabet to spell Greek and Swedish words, and it's trying to autocorrect to Swedish words, obviously it'd be different. I feel like that's something that I would have eventually come to the conclusion of. It's like, just while I'm in the shower or something, just relax and be like, different keyboards in different countries and autocorrect. There's so many times, like, if I'm in work or I'm driving or I'm just like in the bath or having a shower and I haven't got like a notebook to hand, I'm like, this would be an interesting thing to like get people's opinions of on stream. Just like random shower thoughts of like, what about this? I need to know if I'm the only one that thinks this way and that kind of thing. I just need to always have my creative notebook with me. Because I've got like 3 notebooks. One's my ideas notebook, one's my sketch notebook. I've got a work notebook. And I've got a 4th one, I think, just as a spare. Because you can't have too many notebooks for stuff. At least if you're like me. And you like taking physical notes a lot. Because if I type something down, I'm probably not going to remember, even if it's in like a notes app. But if I take notes in a notebook, I'm more likely to remember it because it's the effort of writing those down, and you have to think about, or at least I have to think about making it legible for myself. And sometimes I'll do little doodles to like make stuff sink in. Wow, it's running slow. I'm not dropping frames, but my Agatho's going weird. That's another one for bilingual people. Because my dad's sort of explained this to me. Where he was born and raised over here, but mum and dad born over in Cyprus. Greek is, or Cypriot is the first language. They're the same language, Greek and Cypriot, just it's different dialects. But he says when he's in England, he thinks in English, obviously. But the moment he steps off the plane and he's had to talk to someone in Cypriot for the first time, he's instantly all holiday thinking in Greek. Because he's grew up kind of like, not kind of. He's grew up fluently, like speaking it, because his mum and dad speak it to him. My nan, she's really good at English, but it's definitely not her first language, so she will speak to him in Greek before she speaks in English. But he says as soon as he steps off the plane, it's just Greek in his head. He dreams in Greek. That's the interesting one, because you can kind of try and actively think in a language because you have to have the thought to think. But the dreaming is the interesting one. He also says it's kind of a mix depending on who he's talking to in his dreams. But the majority of his dreams are in Greek. I've never actually asked him when he comes back. Does it just like instantly switch to English again? But he's also kind of... I've ran through a ton of Pokeballs. I'm down to 10, I just noticed. Yeah. It's an interesting one. And I wish... And I think I've said this like every stream so far. I do need to learn to speak Greek. I just love to speak another language. Because I feel like that's something so impressive. If you just like... You're in a different country and you just whack it out. And people who... Because obviously you won't speak it all the time. You'll speak... Like... If I'm around friends or people in my office that I work with and that, I'm just speaking English to them. But no one ever will see like the foreign speaking side. Like it was weird hearing the Bulgarian girl I work with actually speak Bulgarian to her parents on the phone. Because they're like, wow, we've worked with you for, well, I'm coming up probably about a year working with her. And in all that time, I'd never heard her speak her own native language until a week ago. Just because, like I say, if you're around people who all speak English, you won't really speak it as much as we also like getting into language conversations a ton of the time and like seeing which words come from which languages. See, I tried Duolingo, but it just got to a point where it's teaching me formal Greek, and also it's hard because I'm trying to learn the Cypriot form of Greek, which, like I say, different dialects, but I want to learn it naturally. And it's teaching me very formal, which means I'm getting a lot more wrong, but I'm also learning a lot of stuff that I feel like I wouldn't use day to day. Because there are a lot of like abbreviations. Because I did try and I did actually get like pretty far, but I hit a wall with it. And so I tried to talk to my brother, because my brother's near enough fluent in Greek. I was trying to be like, so what does this mean and what does this mean? And he got to that point where he was like saying, that is technically right, but you wouldn't use it in that way. So I feel like it would be the equivalent of me learning the Queen's English growing up, where I'd be talking to people and I'd be like, that something's a bit off about that. It's very formal. It's essentially the difference between me talking now and if I just started trying to say every word as clear as possible, with no accent at all, as if I'm reading from a teleprompter on a news channel. It's the reason, probably the same for different languages as well. It's another shower thought of like the different news channels have the same accent in different countries. Yeah, there's that as well. It doesn't teach you things you need day to day. It teaches you as if you are a child in school, which that only works for context because you use the language. So say grown-up Swedish, you may learn different things similar to that in Swedish, but then in your day to day you're being taught normal conversational Swedish. So you're getting the context of how to use different words while also getting the actual context of how to talk to people in a natural manner. But yeah, I wonder if in different countries, the way English has the Queen's English, which is how it's properly spoken. I guess it's the King's English now, just thinking about it. If different countries have like a proper way to speak Finnish sort of thing. Because there are like some things are shortened just to make life easier. So if I was to give someone directions and I was just saying like, go straight ahead. I need to probably do better. But, oh, what was I saying? Yeah, so there's little bits of even like contractions. If I was to give someone directions in a car and just being like, straight ahead, like just don't take a turn, I'd be like, Oraloisha. But if people were to actually give directions to be more succinct, Oraloisha is quite a long word where they'll just contract it to Isha. They both mean the same thing, one's just a contraction. Wait, am I onto... If I run, I'm safe for the chain, but I need to get Pokeballs because I've just noticed I've run out. I was like, is that a Premier Ball? And the law's not giving me... The law's not doing well for me, is it? Yeah, there's two things. That I say two things. The list just grows. I want to be either learning or doing something by the end of this year. Oh, you can leave the area, it's fine. The only thing that will break it is if the Pokemon runs from you. Or you close the game. Which is how I've kept it for ages. Let's buy 200. So I've just been like putting my Switch to sleep and loading it back up. Thankfully, because I've got two Switches, I've just got it on my normal Switch and my OLED. I've been playing other games. I've been playing Zelda finally, trying to finish that. But yeah, by the end of this year, I want to be either sitting my CBT, which is my compulsory bike test, so I can at least think next year about actually sitting my bike test, or I want to have started trying to properly learn guitar, like formally, not just self-taught, or I want to be trying to learn Greek. One of those three, I want to properly take Greek lessons, because it's not something that will go completely unused for me. It's harder to learn because I won't use it every day, but because it's so ingrained in my family and we all use it. Like, I can use it with my brother pretty much like every day. I can talk to my dad with it, my cousins, my aunties, uncles. They're all kind of about the same. I probably use guitar more. Get my bike license will be fun. Oh, and I need to buy laws. But Greek would be a nice one. And I feel like Greek's on a timer. Like, kind of very morbidly. I want to learn Greek to be able to, like, speak to my nan in Greek. Instead of making her speak English. Because it'd just be nice. And you only get so much time with your grandparents. So it's better to do that one sooner rather than later, quite morbidly. And buying laws. But I just got to find a good Greek teacher as well. Because most... I didn't look at how much money I've got. I'm here to buy. How much money have I got? Well, does it not? Oh, it's behind my camera. I was like, does it not tell me how much money I've got? That's stupid. 31,000. Okay. Yeah, I've got to find a good Greek teacher because most Greek kids over here go to quite literally what we call Greek school. So they get sort of forced to learn it since they're very young. And I'm not going to be one of those people who's like, yeah, it is. The fact that usually by now, like for the Mankey hunt, I had 2 Mankeys. Oh, and I need to swap to Pokeballs. Yeah, I'm not going to give the excuse of like, oh, I'm not a kid and kids just absorb languages a lot easier. It's like, no, that's kind of, it's bullshit. If you want to learn, you want to learn. Things can make it easier, things can make it harder. And what YouTube notification can't. Now you need a shiny Living Dex. That's probably on the Living Dex video. Wait, I need to know now. Oh, it was on the Living Dex short. I need to tell him about those. Yeah, if you want to learn, you can always learn. It's like people say, oh, I can't pick up an instrument or singing. I guess it's different because everyone always is able to sing. That's just a confidence thing a lot of the time and paying attention. So some people just will deliberately not learn to sing. So it's always bad, so they never have to. But if you learn to sing a little bit, sometimes they go, oh, you're good. But people use excuse a lot of the time. Oh god, that's gonna be hell. Gonna have to think in like 3 different languages. Listen to me speaking English. Thinking to yourself in Swedish and translating to Finnish. Or how would you do that? Thinking about it. Like doing Duolingo, is it easier to start in Swedish and go to Finnish, or just start in English and go to Finnish? And then have to do like 3 layers of translation, so Swedish to English to Finnish. Because that's another one of those shower thoughts I've had, where it's like people who are like trilingual or like a polyglot, I think that's what it's called. Okay. Yeah, because I wasn't sure what one, because I imagine it would be like the closer to the dialect. Also, you do the 3 layers, yeah. Because this is what I was going to say, is people who know multiple languages, I wondered if it was just like always base language to the final language, or if it was like multiple layers of translation between. Because obviously, I imagine the more you practice one language, it becomes natural. Same as like, if I go to the music analogy I was using before for like learning. You say like A minor, and I know A minor straight away. I don't have to think finger here, finger here, finger here. And that's how you make an A minor chord. I just go straight to an A minor. And then you end up doing like less translation to other stuff. So you go like, instead of having to do that A major to an A suspended 4th. And then remember like, okay, an A is here, like these 3 fingers, and then you add the extra finger in for the suspended 4th. I just go, oh, it's just an A with a finger here. Oh, that's got to help a ton if your dad's finished. Like, you'll have a bit of natural, like, ingrained language. Which is what helped me, like, and doing the initial language lessons in Duolingo for Greek. Even though it's a different dialect. Because I'm so used to being around Greek people and, like, different words they use and that type of thing. I just made the connection, because I've always said this. I'm way better at listening and understanding a conversation than I am speaking it, because I've just naturally picked up certain bits of the language that I can kind of make context, but I can't put context to those words to be able to speak it back. Yeah, it's good to have that like, that's what I mean. If you've got a goal and you want to do it, that's better than just being like, I'm just learning it for the sake of it. Like, you want to talk to your dad in Finnish, because obviously that it's a nice thing to do for someone else. It's a good selfless goal. And if you're the type of person that's what, it's gonna sound wrong, but that's what does it for you. Not in that way though. If that's what gets you going and gives you the drive to learn it, you just go for it. Some people just like learning languages in general, which I don't understand, because it does seem like a lot of effort. But some people just pick up languages like that, and I guess once you start seeing patterns between different languages, it can be easier. This is one thing between me bringing up like the little bits of Greek that I know to the Bulgarian girl in work, and my line manager knows bits of like German and French, and we start to like see patterns between all the different languages. And sometimes where different languages just aren't translated between each other, so it's the same word between like 3 languages. The most obvious one, which would make sense, is like a load of foods aren't translated, or like they're near enough, and I can't think off the top of my head. Because we did say one the other day. We were like, oh yeah, that's just the exact same word. At least you've got the excuse. Like, if you're multilingual, like that, I still understand you're multilingual, but I know you're saying multilingual. But you know multiple languages. I don't get the excuse when I'm writing in English and I misspell in English and just get whole sentences wrong. The only one that I kind of don't give that leeway to is my dad. Because he's multilingual, but he was brought up in English. That makes sense. He was brought up in England, learning English, speaking it, reading, writing it. And he also can't read and write Greek, so there's only one language I read and write. So I'm like, okay, as much as you can misspell stuff, he's super lazy with reading and writing in general. And he'll get a slight pass with the fact that he can still speak 2 languages fluently. But even then, I'm like, you've got to read and write one. Otherwise, I do see it as a little bit lazy. Like, it's a weird balancing act where I put a little bit more weight on the reading and writing than I do the speaking too. Because you should at least be able to read and write one fluently. Just because, worst case scenario, you can always translate on a phone. Which, that's one thing I haven't tried, mainly because, well, I haven't had to. But since translation on phones has gotten way better, I've never actually tried like live translation. Especially considering now they have live captioning. So it'd be slightly delayed. Is English second? Oh. I guess, do you mean like British and English? I think that's what you mean. Yeah. British, it's one of those things. I did that to separate myself out because a lot of people I've jumped in being like, oh, you're not American, sort of thing. That's why it's in there twice. And English is just, it's in there as a language. So people who can only speak one language don't jump in and go, I don't understand a thing. And it's not to kind of push people who don't speak English away. It's just to be like, don't waste your time if you can't speak English because I can't speak any other language. Does it? I'm going to mess with my layout a second. Oh, so it does. I'll have to remove that. Cheers for spotting that. I did the tags so long ago and just never looked at them. But you just know I'm rarely English now, don't you? It's like English, and that is it. But the way I've got like my stream layout, it cuts off the tag, so I can't actually see the second English. That's actually quite funny. That's been, what, probably since I think I've changed them once. But I think the English has been there since I started back in October, streaming bits. Which, that's... yeah, 100% English. Even though technically for... well, nationality, I guess, 100%. But by descendancy, I guess, by heritage, I think that's what I'm looking for. I am 50% Greek because my dad is full Greek, so I got half there. And then I want to say 25% English, 25% Irish. Because I'm not going further back than like mum and dad. I think my mum's half Irish, half English, and my dad's full Greek. And I just get the half Greek, 25 Irish, 25 English. Which I'm happy not being full English because it does... that's the first time I've seen one break out in a while. I'm happy not being 100% English because it seems kind of boring. Although I am of like my 3 siblings, me, my brother, my sister. I am, we jokingly say, the most English of all of us. Because my sister looks very Greek. My brother is slightly olive-skinned and also is fluent in Greek, but also christened English. My sister's christened Greek, I'm christened Greek, but I'm the palest of all of us. Thankfully, still not super pale. I could do with more of a tan, and I have been outdoors recently. I have actually had to touch grass and breathe fresh air. And I'm more tanned on one arm because, wow, I don't know if you can see it on camera, I'm more tanned on one arm than the other just from driving. But I'm still the palest of my 3 siblings. But I think I can still speak more Greek than my sister, or at least understand more Greek than my sister. But there's no denying she's got Greek genes. Curly hair. She's got a darker complexion a bit naturally. And she's just got what I've been told is a Greek figure. And it's like, yeah, we've all got the Greek bum, as we call it. We're not getting away from it in the family. But to put it nicely, people say to her, oh, you've got a Greek figure. Which, for better or worse, like, she's married with kids. I don't think she cares at this point. And if Instagram's anything to go by, I think she's happy to have a bit of a bigger bum. I'm going to swiftly divert off that topic of talking about my sister's ass. And my ass. And my brother's ass. Just asses in general. We're not letting the topic get weird. We're just going to keep looking for the blue nose. Eventually we can get to it. I'm rarely tempted to hunt it off stream. As much as I keep saying I want to do it on stream, I do eventually want to get this video done. Although I guess technically if I get the recording done this weekend, because it can only take the 3 days. If I get it done, then that's one video to start working on while I'm doing this, so there's no super rush for it. Got to think of that production schedule. Because I've got this video going, I'll have the one this weekend. I've also got one constantly going in the background for like a Pokeball Plus video. Which is just a lot of walking and a lot of steps. And it's just taken way longer than I thought it would because steps don't count as much as I wanted them to. It only counts like every 10,000 steps. Which, per day, I'm kind of lucky if I get 10,000 steps in. Because I sit down for my job pretty much. I sit down at a keyboard and tap and type all day. So to try and get in 10,000 steps passively, really hard. Which hopefully should be easier because I want to get into a habit of running. This month I've actually taken off. I've taken this month off the gym to kind of sort out diet wise, which I was talking a lot about last stream. So I haven't gotten in nearly as many steps. I'm happy because that is every day. I do want to do some like a bit more upbeat idea streams, like produced, I guess. But at the same time, that's asking a lot because I kind of stream in my downtime. I don't sort of want to... I've only got so much energy to bring to stream. Because I am pretty much drained day to day. I'm getting there with like... That's how... Honestly, if I was to make a video of a stream and just like hypercut it, I would have to bring bits of that energy. I'd have to be like introducing the video and be like, So, today we're doing this, and thankfully my video voice, I tried to keep as close to my natural voice as possible. So I'm not putting on a bit of an accent. Because a load of people like will point out if you've got a video voice or not. So I tried to, from the bat, keep it as close to my normal accent as. It's just been a bit more like animated, and then it can be mentally draining because you've also got to think, okay, introduce the video, and then I've got to go over the concept of the video if I'm doing a challenge, and then if something happens I've got to be on the eye out to make a comment or something, so it all cuts nicely as a highlight. Which for streamers where it's the full-time job, it's not easy enough to do, but it's easier to kind of give your time and effort to when it is your full-time job. When I'm coming home after like an 8-hour day in work, and then the extra travel time, so you're talking maybe like today it would be 9 hours of work and travel, and then also squeezing in a run before the stream for some reason today. It's hard to give that extra effort to being upbeat, but if there's something that I'm actively producing as well, like there's an idea driving the stream, I don't have to, it's going to sound bad, but I don't have to put in as much if the idea is doing a lot of the work. So like, I don't know what I want to do with it, but I'm kind of halfway to an idea where it's just me and a character that I've kind of trained ChatGPT to play, and I've given it rules to kind of follow and do a kind of a voice to speak, so it can at least talk back and there's something for the stream to hear and not just me to read, and kind of have a back and forth with it, but I don't know what I want the character to be or do or that kind of thing. I'm still workshopping it a little bit. There is a stupid one that I was doing the other day where I was seeing how much it could play dumb. So I just said to it like, you are the Pokemon champion of like the Johto region, but you're very cocky and condescending, and you'll occasionally get bits of information wrong, but you are confident and won't admit that you're wrong. And it was actually just making me laugh. And I was like, there's a grounds there to the idea. It's alright, I don't know what channel points are for either, to be fair. They're just something that's it. I think I can rename them. Spend them as much as you want. They show up different in chat. They don't show up on stream. Which I think is what made it look weird with the emote. But eventually I might try and do something with them. Because I think, because they're channel points, I can make custom stuff. So eventually I can make it do stuff on stream if I start tying it in. So you may be able to redeem points, like you can use them for predictions. If I put predictions up, you can start betting those points. Or if I tie it into my OBS, you can like invert my camera colors and stuff like that. I just haven't put the effort into that yet, partially because I just like keeping the stream clean. Mainly because, let's say like for this, I'm streaming it, but I do have the intent of making a video out of it, so I don't want big obnoxious stuff all over the screen, which is why the follower alert is just something that's kind of nice up there, that's really small and generally quite transparent. And then chat has a bit of transparency to it as well, and it's clean. You can still see behind, so it doesn't obscure a lot of the footage. I'm in the corner just to make it so it isn't just the game. So even if I'm not talking, you can still tell I'm here, sort of thing. Because a lot of it is, I'm still trying to strike a balance with how I'm doing everything, but I feel like I've got a decent solid bit of branding at the minute. And then there's little bits of the border that flies around the screen. Oh my god, this is Diggler Cave, right? Yeah, the border that flies around the screen every minute. It's to sort of like keep the attention a bit. It helps me pay attention to how long time's been, so I've got a rough estimate in my head, even though I can see like the stream uptime and everything. Oh, cheers. Yeah, so it's just flew around the screen. So I have a rough estimate of time, but also it's a bit of an attention grab thing. So like, even if nothing much is happening on stream, the white thing flying around screen's a bit of movement to be like, hey, you're looking sort of thing. But subtly, it's not like super in your face. Because I feel like the aesthetic I'm going for is minimal, but very heavily like retro stylized. Like, for instance, the time is not somewhere randomly on stream. It's over the camera. But also, and I feel like I might go for 10 minutes to try and round it out to 11 hours. It's over the camera. There's a black overlay. And it's my handwriting. So, because that font is actually my handwriting. So it's that personal touch for like, if you were writing on, say, oh, what do they call them? If you're writing on a Polaroid or like a VHS tape, it gives it kind of like that feel to it. Yeah, it's those little touches. And if there's like anything white, generally there will be a little bit of what is called chromatic aberration on it, which is just the color separation. So where you see white, you'll also see maybe a bit of like, I'm not sure if it does it for the video stuff, it might be red, green and blue. Like you might see that on like the edges. It'll be very subtle, not like super in your face. Or like for like the graphics down below, if you scroll down on the stream, they're separated by cyan, magenta and yellow. Because if I remember to, I'll make it cyan, magenta and yellow. For the sake of anything print wise, it prints in what they call CMYK. Which C for cyan, M for magenta, yellow, Y for yellow, and K for brightness. Which is generally like the black or white values. So CMYK, because K for Kelvin is like, it can be color temperature, but also brightness for some reason. Don't know why. Like that's where the little bit of my graphic designer brain can't let those details go. And then there's other stuff like you'll notice in my videos when text comes up, there'll be like the shifting bar that goes down the screen that just pushes everything to the right, with a little bit of like jagged noise on the side and like actual static noise over stuff, just to give it that retro VHS style and while still being HD, because it's very easy for that stuff. Wait. That could kind of work. Because you'd have yellow, magenta, cyan and the alpha. No, I hate that. No, I don't hate that, but that works. I love that that works. I'm trying to think of other like graphic stuff that I do as well. Because there's a lot of thinking. Oh, there's glitchy stuff as well. Just because I love a good glitch. Like file corrupting sort of thing. You'll notice my text transitions. And also, that's why I was messing around before. Saying like, if I move over here, or if I go full screen. And then forget to turn my camera on. It's all just kind of glitchy. Or I've got my VHS transitions in there. And just flashbang it. It's all, you can see where the styles come from. Now that I've kind of like, I'm trying to explain it. Because if you're just making a style and you're like, that doesn't feel like me, it can be a pain doing graphics. Because I've had to do graphics for people where they're just like, glitching deliberately this time. You're not like, you're not too far from your router. But yeah, I've worked with clients before who are like, I just want something clean, and I'm trying to like drag it out of them to be like, what do you mean by clean? Do you mean like Apple aesthetic, super clean, or do you just like straight lines? And one thing that we just had a breakthrough recently in work was dragging it out of the CEO, like what he wanted style wise. I was like, so this is the stuff you like? I took so long to try and drag that out of him. It was sort of ridiculous. Because we were going very, very flowy and soft touch because it's a care company. So that made sense. But apparently he wanted a very, I realised, I'm slowly moving over this way. He wanted a very like professional, sleek looking motif to everything. Which is fine. I don't think it works great for the brand, but it's his company at the end of the day. Like, I do designs for him. That's what he pays me for. So what he wants, he gets. But it's trying to find that stuff, and half the time I'll try and look through stuff with people and be like, oh, so this is what you like. What bits of this do you like? Because a lot of it is people learning what they like, and it's not robbing an idea if someone's already done it. When you're trying to figure out what people like. And a lot of the time, brands are amalgamations of other brands. Or like the combinations of other brands, if that makes sense. So what I've been taking is like bits of examples of websites he sent me, with also bits of like Apple's design philosophy in there, and just different brand examples. Because there's no point, if someone's done it right, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's a saying for a reason. If someone's done it right, take the wheel and add the tire to it. Take the wheel and put an engine on the other end. You can... What's the word I'm looking for? You can update the wheel, but you don't need to start from scratch. And that's 600 and still none. I'm starting to think I'm cursed. Maybe the fact that I got 4 bronzo kind of jinxed me a bit. Going back to the brand and stuff, some people do take that idea of like not inventing the wheel a bit too far. Because you'll see a lot of tech companies just going, oh, Apple's done this, so we'll do our version. But it's one of those like, don't copy my homework. Change it slightly. And they change it ever so slightly. So it's just different enough that they can't sue. Yeah, pretty much that. Like, we've got the concept of a round thing. You can make that round thing do whatever you want. And we have. It's a proven philosophy to make stuff work. Same like, so design wise, you can retool it with colors or add your own little motifs or customizations. Same as with a wheel. Like I said, you can add an engine, or you can make a wheel into a gear and do everything you can with gears. You can turn it into a friggin', have multiple in a row and wrap them in a tank tread. You can make an inflatable wheel, but the base is a wheel. Same as you can take Apple's clean branding and retool it for yourself. Those super simple, like, take little bits. Apple has like some playful motion in there, so like they have a little bit of bounce to their animation, so stuff doesn't go like in and stop. It goes in, overshoots a bit and goes back, so you get kind of a sort of effect rather than a, and it feels a bit more natural, a bit more playful, and it's subtle. And it's the collection of all of those subtle touches that makes Apple so easily recognizable. Yeah, this is my head in a nutshell. I live on my own, so if stuff didn't go awry constantly and I didn't follow like trails of thought, I just wouldn't think to myself. And if you get me on graphics, I can talk about that all day. Because it is quite literally what I have to think of all day. Whether it's the technical side of it, trying to be like, this is how I'd make a certain type of like motion graphic, or animate a certain thing, or color combinations, like color theory, or if it is just dissecting a brand and being like, oh, this is why they feel how they do. Like, everyone looks at Apple and thinks, ooh, clean, hard cut edge, and I'm bringing Apple up a lot because them and Coke are the best examples of branding. Pepsi, terrible. They've changed the logo about 5 times in the last 15 years. Coke have just stayed to the classic logo and that's it. Maybe change the colour scheme here and there. But there's things people don't think about in branding. Like Apple being generally flat, clean cut. But you look at some of the recycling stuff, like their eco effort videos, and there's a lot of like hand-drawn bits, like trees popping up and bits of like written text. It's just, oh, it's clean, it's nice, it's neat. And we're over 11 hours. What time? It is 10:45 for me. Do I want to go? I really want to try and get Diglett this stream, but I'm starting to feel like that's not gonna happen. Can I get it in 15 minutes? Do I reckon in 15 minutes I can get up to, I reckon maybe around 6:35, 6:40ish. Because for this combo to go over 600 is ridiculous. Because this is a combo after I got a shiny Chansey as well. That broke the chain. After about, I want to say 50 odd. Yeah, you probably should try and sleep a bit. If you need to jump off, it's fine. I'm probably just going to keep powering through and trying to get this Diglett. But I'm probably not going to be on for too long anyway. I'm either going to probably get to 650 in the combo or hit 11 o'clock for me. Which will be a new day for you on the dot. So if you're going to stay on, I can sign you into tomorrow. Because I've also got to get the thumbnail made. I'm probably going to spend a good bit of time on it. Probably get myself a coffee, sit down, and just work on that for the night. And then I can leave the VODs rendering to go up on Wednesday and Saturday. Trying to remember my own actual upload slots for the second channel. I surprised Ray the other day and he was like, oh, I didn't realise there was slots for this. I mean, cheers. It's not going to be too long, promise you. Mainly goes, I've got work tomorrow. Yeah, surprised Ray the fact that I had upload slots for them. It's like, didn't realize you had the schedule. I was like, technically yes and no. Because before I had a schedule to stream, I was like, it will be Wednesday at 6 or Saturday at 6, depending on when I do. It'll just be the next slot after that. Now I'm streaming twice a week. It is essentially a schedule. And if I do extra streams, it would end up pushing it back. So I might actually need a third slot. Because now I've freed myself up from editing the alchemy video. I might have time to do other stuff on stream. Like, I might have time to do more of this and try and power through. Oh my god, they're the ball straight. Because I've wanted to do this a couple times. Just jump on and get some checks in, basically, for the shiny. So maybe I'll be past 12 hours at this point, maybe. Just jump on for like a short stream. But I was putting every second into getting the video edited. And between that and computer troubles and work and social life, it was getting a bit much to start throwing extra streams in. Especially because I can't stream and then get some editing done. Because rendering the streams to go up on YouTube would lock my computer for the night. Which is why it's a nice cycle of stream, render it that night, and then just go to bed. In the morning it's rendered, upload it before I leave for work, and make a thumbnail when I get back. I've got a nice production flow to it. Although there was, I think it was last Wednesday. It was Wednesday because I was getting back from work. I was like, oh, the stream's uploaded, but I haven't got a thumbnail for it, and having to like very hastily like get back from work at 5, start making dinner, but also turn on my computer, and I just realised my camera's still on for me. Turn on my computer and try and get a thumbnail made for the stream, so it's at least slightly enticing for someone to watch before 6 o'clock, because I want to keep myself strictly to when they upload. I think I've only not done the thumbnail once, but I physically didn't have internet that day. And that was another one of those days where I was like, okay, I don't have internet. I was hotspotting off my phone to just talk to like Bud and Ray on Discord. Just to tell them like, listen, stream's not going to be today, got no internet. So it's going to be tomorrow. But at least they had the stream VOD go up that day, I guess. It didn't have a thumbnail. Because I got the thumbnail done. But then when I went to upload it, my internet went down for my area. I can't remember. There was something stupid that it didn't do. Because my internet went up maybe like half an hour before I realised it did. And I think because I was resetting my router, I forgot to turn my router back on, of all things. So I was there just like, oh, I've got no internet, blah, 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 blah. And then half an hour after it came back on, I then looked down the back of my couch, because that's where my router is, and realised the light wasn't on. Because I was... Also, this is one thing that I'm happy I've got contingencies for my lights and that. But I couldn't use my TV or play music or whatever. I was just stuck to my phone to watching stuff. Because I only have streaming services on my TV, like Netflix and Disney Plus and that. And that deliberately waited till I threw it. So I couldn't watch anything on my TV. I haven't got it like tuned in to terrestrial TV, but also I wouldn't watch anything on normal TV anyway. Couldn't play music, couldn't turn my computer on and watch YouTube, so I was just kind of sitting there, I was like, wow, I really can't do anything without internet in the house. Well, I could sit there and play music. Like, I'd be lying to say that wasn't one of the thoughts, but I did have the mental capacity after work to pick up a guitar and start playing, especially when I was ever so slightly frustrated with the fact that I had no internet, so I wasn't in the best of moods to start playing songs and like get myself hyped up. So just kind of chilled, made some food, text some people, start chatting in Discord, and did I even play games? I think I don't think I was shiny hunting anything. I think I literally just vegged out on the couch for a bit, and I'm just remembering like, oh, I could have played my Switch or something. Could have broke out Zelda or started hunting my next thing for my shiny decks. Oh, I was in that bad of a mood, I just didn't think of stuff that day. I was that wound up. Which, in hindsight, good to know. That is what can happen in my head. Although welcome to apparently a reoccurring theme of my streams is I just sit here and like therapize myself. At the same time, the guy lying back in the chair be like, so I woke up this morning, and also the guy sitting in the chair going, so how's your day went, with the glasses and making notes. But I feel like that's just a little bit of living on your own. Because like I say, if you live on your own, you do just kind of have to talk to yourself a little bit, otherwise you will go insane. You just be sitting there in silence. Maybe you can throw on some music in the background, but you've always got to think to yourself, and I feel like that's what keeps me grounded a little bit and keeps me realistic, because I will talk to myself as if, and I've said this about getting healthy and training and everything, I kind of, and this maybe says I've got schizophrenia, treat and talk to myself as if I'm a different person, like mainly if I'm trying to work stuff out. So if there's a task that I'm trying to get done, I'll think of like, oh, what can I do? Like, how would I do it? Try and work out a plan of action. But then I'll try and play devil's advocate with myself and look at it from a different perspective. Like deliberately not try and think like me and judge it critically from a different point of view. And sometimes I go, yeah, I did have a good idea, and I'll like double down on myself. Like, solid idea, well done. And then other times I'll be like, nah, that's stupid. The first thought wasn't the best, or whatever it is. Just said also in the other stream, as a knock on to like, if I'm trying to get in shape, I'm like, I could do it like taking in less calories today because I'm cutting. But then also in my head going, is that just because you want to lose weight? Is that a healthy mindset? Or should you do this slowly and make healthier habits? It's like, always judge yourself critically as if you're someone else looking in. Which I've still yet to find a word for it. I just call it extrospective. Because you've got retrospective, which is looking back. You've got introspective, which is looking inside. But I've never found a word for what is someone like looking from a third person point of view. Like, let's say you're playing a game. You'll be judging the character, and sometimes if something goes wrong, you will judge them and be like, you idiot, even though you're the one controlling them, because you're looking from like the third person camera. But, and this is a weird thing that I'm now putting two and two together, the way I talk about game characters depends on the camera. Because if I'm playing a third person game, like playing Zelda, I'd be like, I didn't tell you to do that, and I get mad at them because they're not doing what I've told them to do. Or like, I didn't want you to do that. But then if a game's in first person, I will be like, oh my god, I'm an idiot. I didn't mean to do that, and I'll talk as if it's me. And I'm only putting two and two together, that is purely an effect of where the camera is placed. So if it's third person, I'll talk to them as if they're the character. But if it's first person, yes, that character is not me, but I'll talk as if it is me. Like, if I'm playing Halo, I am the Master Chief. That is my perspective. But if I'm playing, say, I guess Skyrim could be both. But if I'm playing Mario, he's an idiot if something goes wrong. Which I don't know why my perspective is always, if something goes wrong, so many chances. I wish there was a way to stop the chances spawning. Is it easier for me to... I'm going to do another lap back down. We're also coming very close to hitting that nice 2.5 hour mark. If we go back down, would it be easier for me to reset? Like, just go into the ladder and come back down. I feel like that could be... It could be a double-pronged sword. It could just constantly spawn Chansey for me. Or it could make Diglett a bit more common. And the first time I flick it forward, it's the first time it actually gets an excellent. 11 hours 15. If we take the 2 hours off, that's 9 hours. Roughly. 626 combo. I'm still not quite at 11. That's still not a shiny though. I've still got probably one more check. Okay, it's 11 for me. So let's see if the next one to spawn is a shiny. This has been... It's felt a little longer on this stream because I haven't got music in my ear. At least the Dodrio's leveled up. 627. So we got over 200 checks. And on the way back down, gonna look for another Diglett. And it's not shiny. Okay. I'm gonna pause the counter. Swap back to this screen with the terrible lighting. Hopefully next stream I have a bit better lighting. I'm going to try and take some lights from work that we're just not using at the minute and see if that helps. But I think that's probably going to be it for today. I'm going to be jumping on Wednesday around 8:30, trying to keep on schedule. I'm going to see what I feel like on Sunday. I might not stream because I get back from a camping trip. But yeah, Wednesday will be the last stream before I go camping. So I start talking about little bits and I want to figure out what kind of hunting method I want to do while I'm camping. It says ad starting soon. I'm going to kill a little bit of time for the ad. Just because I don't know who's here. But yeah. So Sunday might be a miss and I might just do Monday instead. Might just do the same thing as today. Just jump on like 8:30. But it should be good. There's going to be no music for the end. But I'll catch us all Wednesday. See you in a bit.